Well, allegedly there's a driver shortage and a fuel shortage, which means I think it's funny. I think it's hilarious. They can't get drivers, even though there is plenty of drivers in the UK that can do the Class 1 drivers. There's plenty. It's not just a Class 1 driver shortage. If your Amazon driver doesn't turn up to work to deliver 180 plus deliveries per day, Amazon stops. And then there's proper chaos. A truck driver at Class 1 does about 3 deliveries a day. Every Amazon driver does about 180 in the vans. Amazon vans. That's a lot of unsatisfied customers. If one Amazon driver doesn't turn up for the week for 5 days, that's 800. That's 5 8, 40, 400, 108. So that's 900 unsatisfied customers if one Amazon driver doesn't turn up. What happens if Amazon, even now, will it affect Amazon? Have Amazon got on-site fuel that their van drivers can use, that their contractors can use? What happens if they can't? Silence is better. Because I was a driver, a van driver, parcels, multi-drop, in the last fuel shortage, 20 years ago. About 20 years ago, there was a fuel shortage, and you couldn't get fuel. But then again, as ex-multi-drop, could float on about 12 routes. Any one of 12 routes I could do. You get to know all the little tiny little garages where there's no one ever goes, and it's expensive fuel, but it's fuel. And for most people, won't pay the price. But when you multi-drop and you know every little narrow lane and village and everywhere, in about 50 square miles, you know just where to get fuel. And in this current situation, that's the knowledge that you need. And the problem is, that was Google had been about 3 years. Facebook hadn't even started. There wasn't a Facebook. There wasn't an Instagram. There wasn't a WhatsApp. There wasn't a YouTube. Yeah. There wasn't a well, there was Amazon, but you couldn't. There was no connectivity. The internet was about basic bits of it, but there was no connectivity. There wasn't 3 billion people on a Facebook because Facebook didn't exist. Right? And that's the problem today. This fuel shortage is a bit like it's a bit like a road closure or an accident on a motorway. Yeah, people got to find signs. People got to find by word of mouth who's got the fuel, which garage has got fuel. But the problem is they can't put it on social media because everyone's going to go to that garage, and that's what causes queues, right? We never had that back in the where I don't know. It was about 20 odd years ago. It was round about I can't remember when it was. But it was about 20 odd years ago. But we managed to get fuel, and every day I was able to go out and deliver parcels. Never had a problem getting fuel. We sourced fuel all right. Well, where I was working, but now it's just like. But the problem is because of connectivity. Excuse me, coffee. But the connectivity of Facebook and all the social media platforms, Twitter and whatever. Yeah. Someone's only got to say there's fuel in this garage, right? What happens if they've got 100,000 subscribers? Right? Well, there'd be fuel, and about 15 minutes later there won't be, right? And they'll all be going round. They were getting to know who knows where the fuel is, right? And then you've got to think like, there's no truck drivers to drive the fuel to the sites, and then you've got truck drivers. I'm an unemployed driver in a driver shortage couldn't make it up, could you? So the problem is that, and I know a few unemployed drivers in a driver shortage, and I think there's quite a few. I think it's more than people think there is, because no, but the thing is, how many litres does a truck? The truck itself, not what it carries in like a fuel tank or whatever, just the truck itself. You could use it for anything. Yeah? You could do a carpet, but the truck itself uses a lot more. Trucks can do about 9 miles to a litre, to a gallon. Something like that. It's not much. The fuel economy is next to nothing. Not very good on a truck. So you think it's well, when I was driving a 7.5 ton, it is about 100 litres in a DAF truck, a little 7.5 ton DAF truck, which is about 100 litres. They've got a smaller fuel tank, but the MANs and the Mercs got bigger fuel, but BP garages then, when there wasn't a fuel shortage, BP garages will only let 7.5 tons. Well, they had a limit on the main forecourt of 100 litres. This was back then. And that's so a 7.5 ton takes 100 litres, yeah. But these Arctics, I was watching a video this morning, it said about 300 litres, right? Yeah? But they take about 600 quid sort of. It's about 600 quid a tank of fuel for a truck. So how many cars could have fuel if the truck didn't have fuel? Right? So I don't know, let's just say if it is 300 litres, 30 litres is about, whatever it is, it's about 50 quid or whatever it is, I don't know. Which is more, they're only letting 30 quid now, so it's more than 30. So basically, 30 quid is about 20 odd litres. Let's just say it's 20 litres, £1.30, whatever it is, I don't know. 20, I don't know what it is, 30 litres, right? So let's just say it's 30 quid. It's not, but 30 quid is about just over 20 odd litres, something like that. 30 quid, 600 quid is a truck, right? Yeah? About 500-600 quid. Right? You've got big fuel tanks both sides, so you've got one big tank on both sides, right? Something like that. And then sometimes they fill up both, right? Because the fuel economy is that bad on the truck, right? But that's the problem that you've got. How many